Well, I'm moving on to color coating all these fenders, but I need I was just going to leave those alone originally, but now I'm putting good paint on it. I got both of these fenders here I need to do, and got my floorboards here. Show you what I can't see real good, but these are the splash panels. I just sanded them down good and painted them with Rust-Oleum semi-gloss black, because I don't think 2 more quarts is gonna do it. This was these, and the running boards were gonna be blue, but I used almost a quart here, 3/4 of a quart, half quart, just on these. And so they set right along top of this. Right along the running board goes up against it. So it's just something you stand on. So this will probably take another almost half a quart. So I got at least a quart of paint just on these panels, and I only got 2 quarts to do the car with. So what I'm going to do is just go with flat black paint. We'll see how it looks, or semi-gloss. I'll probably put some kind of rubber on top of this anyway, so it'll all be good. And since I'm painting, I'll go ahead and squirt these. I took my gun apart. I had a 1.5 nozzle. This is a brand new gun. This is the one I painted the car with, and it just wasn't working right. Sometimes it squirted, sometimes it wouldn't. And that's why I got a lot of this dry looking overspray on here. But I changed the nozzle out, put 1.7 in there, and that's quite a bit bigger. And it worked real good on painting these pieces here. It sprayed a good pattern. It wasn't starting and stopping, so I'll continue testing this lip. I've already painted the back of these. I might blow them off, put a little more on there. But these have already been flat black painted. Just need to do the outside. So I'm going to blow all this stuff off, make up some more of that Rust-Oleum, spray the inside of these, and see how that paint gun works. Now it took a little doing. Here's the dash. Looks real shiny, but it's semi-gloss. That's going to turn out good. It's a really nice paint job, but nobody will ever see that. It's up under the dash. It's too bad it's not out here in front. I got those 2 side panels done. Started hailing out there, so I couldn't leave my parts. I got these 2 floorboards done. Looks like they got a little dust on them from me painting around there. And I brought these 2 in. Both the insides are done here. Man, that dust bothers me. Just have to let it dry and try to wipe it off. Anyway, it took me 1 full quart to do both of those pieces, both fenders and both running boards. So I would have used almost a whole quart of my new blue paint, and I think I'll be just as good here with flat black. Well, good morning again, YouTube. Started moving on these fenders. This one was pretty much done. I had about half of this crack. Wasn't dug out. So what I did was DA sand this down with a 220 and got it all real smooth and all the little scratches and stuff out of it. I used red primer on this because obviously it's going to be red. Looks like these floorboards turned out real nice. I'm going to paint those red too. I don't know what I was thinking about. And these black ones here, those are the splash panels that go along the side. I think they'd be best blue, but at least they got good paint on them. And what I did was put me a couple crates up here and a piece of carpet on the fender. That's how I held this one. It's kind of cold out here, so I just opened the door a little, and I got fan sitting here blowing, so it's blowing most of the dust outside. I still got a lot on the car, but that's the way it goes. So I got these two front fenders now. They're mostly final touches. Both of them are in pretty good shape. I went over them a lot, but I'm gonna sand this down good here with 80 grit on a DA. That'll give me a pretty good look, and I'll probably mix up some more primer and shoot this with epoxy primer, because I want a real good job on these fenders. I got a little plan to do with that right there. But this one here is mostly done, so now I'm just gonna sand these down both best I can. The air compressor is sure holding up well. I got a big pump and a 80-gallon Harbor Freight tank and a good motor. And it's enough to pull the DA. Anyway, I'll get this sanded down, see what it looks like. Well, this has been a nasty primer day. I got these sanded off. I changed guns with a bigger tip to spray this primer. Still not too happy with that gun, but it looked like it did work real well. And I had them just balanced up there, and I knocked this one off. I used my primer and I put some different hardener in it, mostly because that's all I had. But it looks like it's hardening up good. I've got just one little tweak right there. But over here, I finally got this front fender off. I sprayed some of that primer on here. I had already done this crack before. So that looks pretty good. But what I got now, right here in this outside edge, this is twisted in. This has got a dent here, a couple here, one up here, and the whole thing is not really straight. This looks like it ought to be straight up and down, and it's not. So I'm gonna work on this with a body hammer a little, see if I can get it straightened out some, and then I'm gonna rough sand this, and then I'll put some of that Bondo type glazing putty on it, see if I can rebuild this edge a little better than it is. Here's the first step. I just put a piece of tape on here. Funny story, I found this old nasty tape underneath the car, and this is good tape. It's like $10 a roll or something. See all the little dents in it? That's where my dog chewed it up. I got it away from her before she ruined it. I got rid of the dog, but I still find her tracks. Anyway, this looks straight. And what I'm going to do is take a long straight edge here and just straighten this out while it's fairly soft. I pulled this tape off of here. I just filled it up good and then pulled the tape, so I don't have to sand any of that. Once I get that straight, then I'll tape it, and then I'll fill this side part here. Alright, I gooped the body filler on it here. Right here's where I had that dent, but it's starting to get a little stiff, so yeah, the tape's still coming off good. There we go. So now I can see what I got with two planes. I should have left that tape on, I guess. It would have kept me from sanding into my new stuff. Anyway, yeah, it's still real wet. That's good. So now I'll re-tape this again just to protect it. And I think I'm going to have to bring this out quite a bit still. I can't tell. I don't have my good glasses on. It looks like through the camera there's a 1/8 of an inch there, so maybe I'll be okay. May wind up just filling a couple dents in it with all this stuff. I like this. This is USC body putty, body filler. Mixes up real runny and goes on good. Sticks real well. It's fine and it's strong. So I use this stuff a lot. Comes in a tube. If you guys ever want to buy some of it, I don't know what it is. It's like $50 or something. USC icing, polyester finishing putty, but there's a lot there. It mixes up just like Bondo, and it's harder and stronger than Bondo, I think. Anyway, that really works good on little places and little dents. It feathers real well. You know, it's like any kind of Bondo, you have to prime it or else it'll pit when you paint. But it's good stuff. Well, here's the result of this. I finished up that Bondo and shaped it roughly with 80 grit. Primed it real good, so now I can see what little bit I need to do to get this fixed up. This fender will be real good. I'll have to get up there in the front and do that, but this little edge is going to turn around. It's going to look a little bent right here in the corner. I'm not sure what I'll do about that. I don't really want to bring it down straight. Anyway, I'll work on that area some more and blend it in. So just a little bit of that thin Bondo stuff I got here to fill up these cracks, and fine sand it, and this part will be done. Well, I got this out here in the sun, and I got it all sanded down. It was pretty rough. I need another coat of primer on it. There's some dents right here where it went into the frame. I wasn't going to pay attention to them, but I filled this up with some of that magic goop stuff, and then I'll fill this up with that filler primer. Then I'll see if there's any of this low stuff in here that needs to be taken out. Probably not, but the fender's all pretty much sanded up. I got a little right here in the front it needs to be done, but I was going to prime it, and then I realized I didn't have any hardener for my primer, so I'll just stick this on the truck. I don't want to waste my expensive spray can primer on it when I need to put that another good coat of epoxy on it anyway. I don't have any there. It's bare metal. So I'll prime this another day, and then I can final sand it one more time, be ready to paint. Well, I worked on this a lot. This trunk was pretty chewed up. Everywhere you see some red, that was a dent. And where you see white was kind of high, but I got everything all sanded out of here. Any kind of fisheye I dug out with a drill bit, filled that. So this has all been sanded good. Now I'm gonna spray a little primer on it. I'm going to use black primer this time, and try to fill it up, see if there's any little stuff that'll pick up. Put me a light up here. Boy, that makes a big difference, being able to see what you're doing. Well, I shot this with some dark gray primer. I can see a few places here where it's not really doing what I wanted it to do. Like right there, there's still a holiday. I'll let this dry, put a little more on. This is, one pretty good coat. A couple little squirts right where I had Bondo and stuff. And then I hit it again with try to get it wet and smooth. I thought this was going to be black, but it obviously not black. But I am seeing as this is showing me I got 320 and grit scratches. I probably need to sand it with 400 or something for the final paint. Anyway, this is trunk should look a lot better than it did at the beginning of the day. I got a couple hours of work on it over here to finish up this side, but it sure looks like I got all of the low spots and dents out of it. Looks pretty good to me. Of course, this primer will dry. We'll sand it again. Press on. Well, this is pretty much done. You can see all this black primer on here, some white spots. This is pretty much all sanded. I got a little bit of lows right in there. And I've got this, all of this is all machine sanded on this side. I have a little to do here. But I got this bottom piece all done. And I used my little light that I found and put it on this door and started sanding it. This looks like a big place, but that's really thin. It's about thickness of 2 coats of paint. But I just wanted to get that door there good. And I've still got that run up there somewhere down there on the bottom. You can sort of see it. But I was just working this way back. Setting down using these DAs is much better. They just wear me out trying to stand. And then bending over kills my back. Boy, I can't hardly sleep at night after doing the bottom. But I tried a little sanding on where some of these Bondo was showing through here. This primer is really not covering super well. It's really thin. Well, you can see it here. That one hasn't been sanded. You can't feel it, but you can see it. But once it's sanded, it looks like this. You can see that one right there. You just can't feel it, but it's there. So I'll probably put some more primer on it. Get another one there. So this is supposed to be sandable primer, but it's real thin. In a way, it's good because it's not leaving me a bunch of runs. Anyway, gotta let this dry, and then I'll knock this down and we'll work on getting this perfect. Well, I used that USC icing stuff. I just ordered another can of it. I got that big old tube there for like 25 or 30 bucks. But anyway, that patched this up real nice, and I used that red primer on it, and it looks like it's filling a lot better. And that looks, you know, really super straight from here. So I think this will be good. This little stupid light setup I got here helped a lot, being able to see. I need another one down here on the floor. When I go to paint it, I'm going to put plenty of lights in here. That's one of the things I found was the main problem. Couldn't see. Anyway, we'll let this dry, sand it down tomorrow, and then I'm going to try to put that gray primer over it because it's smoother. Here it is the next day. I put plenty of that red primer on there. It was easy to sand, and I put gray over the top of that. And when I was fooling around with the bottom there, taking that run out, I found there was a kind of a big dent there. So anyway, I used that red primer, got it all sorted out, and I was able to get the run and stuff out of this blue piece with machine sanding, and was carefully sanding it with 80 grit. I've got a little bit of hand sanding right up in here, this area here where I didn't go through into the paint and sand out these places I got to run. And this will take care of the run on this, and I'll figure out some way of having a light on it. I would have never got a run if I could have seen what I was doing. Anyway, I just have to wet sand this down and get it with 220 good, and then get to it with the 360 or whatever I've got. I've got some 400. I may just try to do this now with 400. I just need to take the dirt out. I don't really need to take a lot of the paint off per se. Anyway, that's where I'm at now. We're gonna find a little piece of this, and I do like that red primer a lot better. It feels better, and sands better. It's just a lot thicker, but this gray stuff does really good at covering it up and making it the same color and using it for a final surface. My U-poly hardener showed up today, so I have about a half a gallon of paint. This is a quart. I put 2 good coats on here, and it went on real smooth. It's hard. I can feel it's much harder than it was. All of this stuff I fixed down here in the bottom, that's all straight. It'll be real shiny. But this whole fender here is going to look like a mirror. This is I don't know how I got the wrong hardener in this paint before, but it was soft. I ran out. Anyway, I got good hardener in it. I can see some little stuff right here. I don't think I'm gonna bother trying to fix that. I might, because I can see it. Got a couple little dents need to knock in right here, and then just smooth that area. But basically this fender's good enough. I should at least try to take those out. It'd only take me, another half hour, 45 minutes to get those dents out of there.